Hello everyone, welcome back at my next video, and again, phrasal verbs. I know that this is not really something appealing for the students of the English language, but well, as we all actually have already noticed many times in the dialogues or on TV shows or documentary series, it's rather necessary to understand well something from the phrasal verbs, because there are really thousands of them. Not thousands, but basically quite a lot, how they use it. And you could have actually just seen in the videos that they use it in a specific ways, in a situations, and they know how to use it, because definitely the native speakers are the best using them. But of course also very good English language speakers like from foreign countries. So of course they are also good in that. So this time I prepared for you the word cut, which is actually like one of the basic verbs, cut. Even the children actually just know exactly what it means and in which situations they use it. But the problem is that when you are actually using it in a phrasal verb, so in a combination with the adverb or with the preposition, it means a lot of different things. And again, not only a straightforward literal meaning, but a lot of figurative meanings. So let's start. I prepared also some sentences, and I'm going to actually read them again from my screen, because if I just try to actually somehow make them up in my mind, it will be again a little bit more complicated, and it's actually then I'm going to think it more over, and it takes time. And I would like to make the long story short again, so I'm going to actually go through all the phrasal verbs with cut, and then there are many interesting things, and I'm going to prepare other video with cut or cutting in combination with other nouns or adjectives, and creating the compound nouns, creating the other terms, which are quite interesting, peculiar, and it's rather nice actually to know some of them. The first one is cut across. Cut across means to go across a place rather than go around it. So just cut across, or affect people or different groups, classes of something. For instance, it will be quicker if we cut across the park. Or the issue cuts across social backgrounds as it affects us all equally. That's cut across, which means something like, I think it's really quite similar, that's why I'm going to mention it now, to cut actually through. And cut through means deal quickly with a complex issue that is causing trouble. So cut through means actually deal immediately and not going around the process or something. For instance, she cut through the bureaucracy that was holding us up and got the deal done. Or go through a place instead of going around. So really similar to cut across and cut through. We cut through the park even though it was closed. So we just actually somehow like didn't go around the park, didn't actually like make the long journey, but cut through. The next one is cut back. Yes, cut back. And it means also a lot of things which are not really literal. Cut back means reduce in a size or something. The firm cut back production because sales were sluggish. Sluggish means like slow or really like going very slowly. Or remove branches from a plant or tree to encourage future growth. It means to cut something from the tree, or cut the branches from the tree or from the bush. For instance, we cut the tree back every winter. It means that for the spring, it is ready, the tree is ready to actually blossom and bloom and grow faster. Or cut back on something means reduce expenditure. It means the government has decided to cut back on spending on the armed forces. So again, cut back means to reduce in size or somewhere. The next one is cut down, which is actually literal, sort of. Consume less, which is not literal, this is really figurative meaning, but consume less in calories or drink or coffee or whatever you consume less, so cut down. I'm trying to cut down the amount of coffee I drink during the day because it's healthier. Or shoot. It means actually to shoot off somebody, cut down. It means, I think it's connected with battlefield and with war areas or military. A lot of soldiers were cut down by enemy fire as they stormed the airport. Or reduce a vertical thing to ground level by cutting. So it means definitely some high tree or trees or bushes or something like vertical, you cut it down. Or pillar or column. The logger cuts the tree down. The logger is the man who is actually working with the wood, with the timber in the forest. Or cut something from a high position, which is very similar in a vertical position. After Christmas, he didn't carefully detach all the decorations. He just cut them all down. So cut down some decorations from the tree or somewhere. Or reduce in size or reduce in something, cut down on. Doctors advised her to cut down on the amount of saturated fats in her diet. So cut down on or cut down, reduce in sizes or in calories. The next one is cut in, which is also a figurative meaning a lot of times. Start functioning. So it is specifically used in technical terms or in machines. The fans cut in when the engine starts getting too hot. So the fan started to work, one part of the machine started to work because when the engine is too hot, it starts automatically, so it cuts in. Or drive in front of the other vehicle without warning. So it means something like overtake and drive very quickly and actually go in front of you. I think many times it happens and it's really dangerous maneuver, but it happens and it means cut in. So car cut in and nearly caused an accident. You know that many times then you have to actually slow down, otherwise you would have an accident or real car crash. Or interrupt, stop something doing, interrupt or breaking something in the process. For instance, we were having a conversation when he came up and cut in. So it means he interrupted us, cut in the conversation because, you know, sometimes they discuss two people, some third one comes and suddenly you have to stop because he cuts in. Or include someone in a deal that makes money. This is quite, I think, very figurative meaning, and I don't think so. I don't think that it means like exactly this. Sometimes it has also a little bit different meanings. For instance, we had to cut the police in on the deal to avoid trouble. Cut in, it means include, to actually take them in, pull them in. So you can use actually a lot of other terms. Or mix fat and flour until they combine. It is in recipes, cooking classes. Cut the butter in with the flour, but you can actually mix something, blend something with one ingredient with the other. It is the same, yes? Cut it out means literally. Cut it out means that you have actually, you can separate cut in with the pronoun, and it means stop your unfair or unreasonable behavior. You could actually have encountered with that in many series or some documentaries or really like mafia sort of American movies, because they sometimes tell in the dialogue of two mafiosos or some of the bad guys, villains, that I cut it out. It means that you stop it, cut it out. I just cut it. Will you two idiots cut it out and keep quiet? So it means that it's something like, it's quite harsh, it's quite slang style. Cut it out means stop it. Like, just stop that, because this behavior is going nowhere. It is very often in spoken dialogues. You could have actually heard with it. Then the next one is actually cut out, like exclude. Cut out, exclude. For instance, I'm cutting out salt from my diet. So you want to cut out some part of something because you want to actually change it. Or when engine or motor stops, the car cut out at the traffic lights just as they went green. So when it stops working, not only machine but something else, maybe even a process. Or cut out means like literally cut a picture or cut a similar something from a magazine or the newspapers. It is used many times by teachers working with the children. I cut some pictures out to use as visual aids. Yeah, you cut out. Or some people who want to actually keep something from the magazines. Now it's not very popular because of technologies and social media. But in the past it was rather popular that people cut out something from the magazines and put it and stick stick it, glue it somewhere to keep memories, yeah? Or leave quickly, cut out. We would better cut out, the security men are on the way. So cut out, like, we have to go. It's very slang and quite spoken level, this cut out, how they use it. You can always use it also differently, but this is quite demanding. Or separate livestock from a group, so it means separate something from another group. So not only livestock, but it's particularly meant for that. They cut out 3 prime bulls from the herd. So you can cut out some part of something, animals or somebody from the other people. Yeah, so usually it's used with livestock, I suppose. Then cut out on, which means let down or snub. Although he had promised to help, the star cut out on the charity when offered more money. It means stop, to actually disappoint somebody, cut out on something. Then I think then there is another one, which is cut off. Cut off is disconnecting cables, energy, electricity, something. Telephone has been cut off because we didn't pay the bill. It's very often connected with energies or cables or with some kind of, delivery. Or isolate or make inaccessible. For instance, you isolate something. For instance, the heavy snow has blocked many roads and cut off a number of villages from access. Yeah, so cut off villages because of the weather conditions. Then I think we have still cut up, which is strange because cut up means cut into smaller pieces. Many times it's connected with something else, and I think it's quite similar with cut down and then cut up. Well, after cutting the tree down, the logger cut it up into the logs. So cut up is, it's quite similar with cut down sometimes. Or drive into a neighboring lane directly in front of another vehicle. So cut up is very similar with cut in. I was just driving onto the motorway slip road when a red Mini cut me up and I had to brake suddenly to avoid an accident. So cut up means very similar to cut in. Cut up means also to get angry, upset somebody or something, or get angry. Her reaction really cut me up. So her reaction really made me upset or really made me angry. So cut up, like it's very spoken. Or have a lot of small injuries. So when, for instance, you break the glass or break a cup or something, and suddenly you have a lot of blood on your hand, so you are cut up everywhere. So I cut up my hand when I broke the glass. Spoken level. These are all, I think, so we can finish this video with this. And as I promised, the next video will be only with cut and cutting in the different compound nouns or compound adjectives or how they use it. It's quite interesting and peculiar. So yeah, I would like to pull you in and a little bit like get you in it to watch my next video. Thank you very much and see you next time.